here because I can't seem to invite people from this window because
Hello.
There's Micro. All right, and we're live, guys. All right, we're back. Hopefully that wasn't too much. I'm trying to get Soundly back in here, but I do have MicroBlogganism will be now joining us, and we have GeoStrebber again. How you doing, Micro?
Good. I have beer with me.
Beer makes everything so much better.
You are
also,
lucky.
I haven't actually had time to actually watch the hangout with Anthony. All I
Don't
saw
do
was
it. Don't torture yourself.
All I got was I managed to see was the part where he explains why he's wearing a fucking ski mask.
That on its own is a glorious on its own.
He looks like he's just committed a robbery.
Yeah, he said prior to the hangout that he would do some sort of protest thing, but
it's not a protest.
I didn't think he would come up with a ski mask. That one was weird.
Yeah. At first, I thought he was trying to hide his identity.
I was trying to understand how that applies. Like, is it because he's hiding his identity that he's protesting them looking for their identity, or
I didn't even understand.
Is that how it's supposed to work?
So, I mean, what was the whole thing about? Like Patricia wants everyone to be like 100% honest. Is that the thing?
No, apparently somebody thought that a globe earther would demand personal information from a flat earther, and not the other way around. And for some reason, Riley wants to demonstrate against that.
Oh. No, I think it's what's happened where the flat Earth is eating itself, and there's some guy out there that started doing all this research onto the background of Mark and Patricia's apps and their websites, and they trace back to some marketing company, and they're basically saying that these guys are just actors essentially that are being hired by this marketing company to make money off of flat Earth, and that's about it. That's essentially what the whole argument comes down to, and that's just been making its way through the flat Earth ecosystem.
Oh, okay. I wasn't quite sure, and I showed up late, so I didn't even know why. I didn't even get the explanation, so that's hilarious.
So, did you just reiterate all of his previous ludicrous arguments?
So first off, earthshine is a thing that is invented by Soundly here.
Yeah, I got that from your video. That yes. apparently Soundly has invented a time machine, gone back in time, and introduced the concept.
Yes,
which I have to congratulate you on. It's quite a breakthrough.
Thank you. I do have a time machine, just as evidenced by my time travel debunks that I do.
And then the other wonderful thing is that JPEGs are not an acceptable form of pictures anymore.
Right, okay. It's now a bad time to say that on YouTube all the profile pictures and thumbnails are stored as JPEGs.
A lot of things on the internet are stored as JPEGs.
But does that mean that
they're all
the
fake
pictures of Anthony in his profile picture, he's not real?
Right, not credible. Right.
Not credible. That's not evidence of anything.
In other words, that's not actually what he looks like?
Yep.
He could look completely different. That's a fake photo that Google invented?
No. Somebody photoshopped.
The compression algorithm. The compression algorithm invented it.
Mm-hmm.
It's somebody's live photoshopping all the individual frames of the video stream.
We all know that the compression. Algorithm adds 10 pounds.
No. It takes 20 pounds off.
Oh, that was brutal.
I shouldn't be throwing stones. I'm a fat fuck myself, so whatever.
No, that means you're allowed to throw them. Plus, if they hit you, it probably don't do much damage because you have the fat to cushion the blow.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so and then there was a particular kind of file that he did want, right?
A raw file.
Raw
file.
That sounds like him.
So those are the only kinds of files he'll accept.
He thinks that there's some magic behind raw files that they can't be edited, which is complete nonsense.
He likes it raw.
Most of the editing software doesn't let you do that because most photographers don't want to edit their RAWs, but you can most certainly edit a raw photo. I mean, that's you can save it back.
Yeah, it's data on a hard drive, so by definition, you can edit it.
Yep.
Yeah, what really shocked me about the Hangout is that he apparently doesn't know that earthshine is a thing even during night. Like, has he never looked up into the sky at the moon shortly after sundown and seen the part of the moon that is not directly illuminated by the sun? I actually can't believe that it is the case. I mean, the guy is 36 years old. You have to notice that at some point.
Well, those are the types of things that have me convinced that he doesn't believe what he's saying. I mean, it's completely ludicrous to say that you've never seen earthshine ever. I mean, you might not have known what you were looking at, but when somebody goes, yeah, you can see earthshine, just go check it out whenever the moon is like got a little sliver in it, and you should be able to see with your eyes. Well, then the next time you look at the moon with a little sliver in it, you'll go, oh, sure enough, there it is. You know, but he doesn't want to do that. He wants to try and fabricate it, you know, the situation today, like, oh yeah, it's 2/3 phase, let's go ahead and do it today. No, dude, that's not how it works.
So, and I kind of wish he was here because he kept saying that, you know, you can't see the rest of the moon. But even if I understand this right, even in a flat Earth model, the moon's still there. It's just not lit up, right? Like it's not like it's not there.
That's depending on which flat earther you ask. There were literally some that thought that the moon would change its shape, like its literal shape.
Oh,
well, today he was.
What is it? The fucking blob?
No, that's Anthony Riley.
Today he was arguing from the camp that says that the moon's not a real object, like that it's some type of, I don't know, hologram or something. I don't know exactly what the alternative is.
Oh, but I forgot. Yeah, projection. He kept saying that in his video.
Yeah, projection. Yeah.
Well, he is good at doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Because his whole video was that and it took me forever to try to parse together what he was trying to actually say, is that he could project a 3-dimensional image on a flat surface.
No one understands that because it's.
I don't
Yeah, I mean, I think now 4 people have pointed out that images on surfaces are per definition 2-dimensional.
Yes.
Miles Davis has pointed that out. I have pointed it out, and you. Apparently, he doesn't seem to understand how dimensions work.
I really wish I understood what he meant by a 3-dimensional image.
I think what he meant is that it appears to be looking 3-dimensional, that it has some sort of texture to it that makes it look like it's a 3-dimensional object.
But, even his object didn't have that. It just looked like a lit up.
Yeah, it was just a white circle with nothing on it.
Well, no, it did have some like spots on it that he said were like sunspots.
Oh yeah.
I think if I understand him correctly, I think he thinks that the sun is actually the projection of a 3-dimensional, and because that object changes, the image changes, and I think that's what he means by 3-dimensional object projection image.
Do you know what you have to do with him? We have to teach him how to use Blender and actually make a 3-dimensional model of his model.
Wait! You want to teach him?
Yeah, I mean, we should give him a machine that runs Blender and show him how to use it. And then try to make his model.
You know what's gonna happen is he's gonna turn out to be like a genius at Blender, and he's gonna use that as evidence of how you can fake anything.
he's actually gonna just create like
that. Anthony Riley and genius don't go in the same.
Never use.
There's idiot savants out there. There's idiot savants, right? Like he could be just really good at this one thing. And then he'll sit there and he'll remake like the moon landing, and then he'll say that the moon landing was created in Blender. And
Because
Oh,
they had one-
everybody knows that
Yeah.
actually Stanley Kubrick directed a fake moon landing.
yes.
But
NASA
since he
had
was a
CGI
perfectionist, he actually made it on the moon.
Oh, that reminds me. You've probably all seen the Mitchell and Webb sketch with the moon landings.
The which one?
Mitchell and Webb. It's it's not on anymore, but it's a British like sketch show with what's he called? It's David Mitchell. I can't remember what Webb is called. His first name is. But basically the joke is that they're sitting like and planning to fake the moon landing, and it ended up being more practical and cheaper just to go to the moon and make it there. They end up having to basically go, well, we'll have to make a giant rocket. Why would we need a giant rocket? We're not going to the moon. Well, when people ask how we're gonna get to the moon, we will have to have an answer, so we can tell them we went in the giant rocket. Also catering.
Hey, Sean, how's it going?
It's going. Getting kind of ragey though.
All right. Go ahead.
You guys keep focusing on the fact that he's trying to say that a two-dimensional surface is projecting a three-dimensional object, when you are all missing the more important point of his entire video.
All right.
That he debunks his own hypothesis.
Yes.
Oh.
I brought that up in my video, but yes, he does.
Oh my god! I actually made that comment. He actually bragged about that video going up on one of Jeroen's videos in the comment threads, and within 30 seconds of watching the video, I told him I predicted how he was going to debunk his own claim, and he ignored it, of course. But oh my god, it's like I've never seen somebody try so hard to debunk themselves than Anthony.
Yeah,
and he does it all the time.
Yeah, he's a professional auto debunker, no doubt about it.
Yeah, I have no idea how he hasn't noticed that yet. He just hasn't noticed.
He doesn't notice anything. That's his problem.
Wait, you have no idea how he didn't notice that? Because I have a pretty good idea why he didn't notice that. You want to hear it?
Lack of brain capacity.
Thank you.
Oh, there you go.
Oh my god.
Actually, it's not capacity, it's computing power, but whatever.
The thing, you know what? Today's hangout was a good example, though, of what we let him get away with. Because
dude, he can't even compile a 2-bit code.
Well, I'm not sure you let him get away with much. You actually did. You guys did pretty, or soundly you did pretty good about Geo too. But you guys did really good job at sort of trying to keep him honest.
Oh no,
you failed because it's Anthony, but you tried to keep him honest.
Well, nobody caught him when he's saying JPEGs aren't credible evidence. JPEGs aren't credible evidence because they're not NIF or CR2s. But then he offered to give Geo pictures that are either NIF or JPEG, and neither of you two caught that.
Oh, I caught it. There's just so much there to work with that I had to choose one.
It's like, so it's okay for you to give JPEGs to somebody else as evidence, but when somebody presents you with JPEGs as evidence, they don't count. What a fucking dipshit! It's like, oh my god.
He really is the bullshit asymmetry principle in action.
Yeah, I think Micro already had a discussion about that one.
Yeah.
Bullshit asymmetry principle. I need to look.
Yeah,
at
basically, it takes more time to debunk bullshit than it takes to produce it.
Oh, no doubt.
Now, for example, during this pyramid hangout, I gave him a maybe 20-minute introduction on electrochemistry because he said one sentence that is complete bullshit.
Now his newest train wreck of a video. Oh my god! I actually
the train wreck. I did the train wreck. All the video part in that sentence is redundant.
Well, yeah, but I got to be descriptive for the audience. At least those who don't know Anthony, all of his videos are complete and total train wrecks. But his Isle of Man observation from St. Bees, I saw that video within minutes of me waking up, and I actually did a cursory analysis on it using Peak Finder. And I thought I came to the correct conclusion, and then I watched Miles do his own analysis of it, which he had more time to take care of that, because I had to get up and get ready for work. And I have to agree with Miles. Anthony's just an idiot.
Yep. You mean the Isle of Man thing?
Yeah.
So explain.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that.
I had a chat with Anthony yesterday via Skype. I mean, only text. But I already told him that it's likely that what he's saying is only the Isle of Man.
Well,
And
here's the thing.
yeah, I've seen Miles' video as well. He brilliantly pointed it out, which part is what.
If I can paraphrase it real quick for those who haven't seen Miles' video and the explanation for Riley's new video, the Isle of Man has a really tall peak. Right, it's not quite in the middle; it's off center a little bit, but it's the highest peak in the whole island. And from Anthony's angle of view, the island to the left of that is very, very narrow in the field of view, but to the right of it is very, very long. It's got a very wide angle. But the topography of the island, you know, it has the peak and it has a couple other peaks towards the right, and then it goes really low, and then it has some more mountains beyond that. And what he's catching is those mountains over the horizon.
Oh,
Of course.
And he's claiming that that's Ireland.
Wait, what?
Yeah. He's claiming that he can see Ireland from the English coast.
No, I'm sorry. That shouldn't be my reaction. That should just go.
Yeah, at
oh,
this
of
point we should all be
course.
used to it, right?
Yeah.
So if Miles is watching, I haven't been able to retract my comment yet because I've been busy after I got home from work. I've got my girlfriend here now. But I just wanted to step in and say, you know, I agree with Miles's, you know, analysis of all this, and I admit that my analysis was incorrect because it was very, very hasty, and I just did it with simply Peak Finder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yours were probably more correct than Anthony's. That's all that matters.
All right. Is it possible to be less correct than Anthony in that particular situation?
Yes.
Well, you could point at the mountain behind you. I mean, not in the direction of the sea, but the opposite direction, and say that is Ireland.
Exactly. or you could say that what you're seeing is the land that's behind you, or that it's Mount Everest. That would technically be more incorrect.
So Dell. Okay, gotcha.
The mountain you saw is actually Olympus Mons on Mars. Somehow.
No, you're forgetting that Mars isn't a thing.
Right. Yes, it's just a blurry blob if you focus in on it.
Well, so somebody did say
Celestial object of light and myrrh.
That was
someone in my comments said something along the lines of telescopes make things round, and that's why the planets are round.
And yet you can look at a building through a telescope and it's not round.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, it only works on really big things.
Oh, speaking of which, I'm trying to get a hold of a aircraft window from a actual passenger airliner. Hopefully from a larger Boeing. I've already emailed.
How the fuck do we get that? Is there like a place you can just call? And
I've actually emailed 2 aircraft graveyards.
Yeah.
And seeing if they'll sell me one or give me one for free, or if I have to get a hold of the owner of the aircraft, because even though they're in the graveyard, somebody still owns that aircraft.
Okay.
So if somebody has an aircraft that fits the specifications, it has to be a triple pane window. It has to have the frame around the window, because I don't want to sit there and have to piece it all together and make a whole new frame for it. I want it as is in the aircraft.
So what are you trying to show? Is this the horizon thing or the curve thing?
This is the horizon thing and the curve thing, if I can do that too.
Okay. I'll be flying here in like 2-3 weeks again, and I'll try to get a picture of from the ground and then a picture from the air.
Well, if all goes well, I'll be making a flight to Florida in February.
That works too. I'll try to get you one though, because it'll be 3 weeks here, and I always take pictures anyway.
Wait a minute.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's a stereotype.
Wait a minute. If things become curvy when you look through them through a telescope, does that mean that peeping toms are actually seeing the women they're looking at as having more curves than they really have?
Oh, how's that Horizon thing going for you?
Sorry.
Shawn?
The new hangout is going to be on Wednesday. It's going to be at 6 p.m. instead of 3:30 because I want to get Jesse Kozlowski in it because
Is that Universal Central Time or what is it?
Eastern Daylight. Well, actually,
yeah.
by then it might be. Yeah, it should be Eastern Daylight still. But Flat Earth Perth has been making some new claims about everything that's the same height will always be eye level to each other. And Jesse's a professional surveyor,
Mm-hmm.
and he's already made videos debunking that because he's taken his theodolite and a target that are the same height to a golf course, and he set them both up on the either side of a lake or either side of one of the water hazards, and he measured from the theodolite to the target, and the target was, of course, a couple inches lower than the eye level of the theodolite. So then he took the theodolite and the target off of the tripods, left the tripods in their positions, and swapped them, and then looked back at the target from the original position, and it was still below eye level of the theodolite. So it was lower than eye level from both directions.
Did he take pictures in raw form?
Obviously CGI. Yeah.
Wow.
If it wasn't a NIF, then it can't be real.
Yeah.
No, but all of this really does show, and Soundly, I use you as an example of this all the time because I think what you do, Soundly, is awesome. Like, I love how you go out and take pictures and do all this cool shit. I also think you do way too much of it because honestly,
I don't disagree with you.
Like that first your first videos and pictures of Pontchartrain were like all that you should ever need.
Yeah.
But then the goalpost got shifted and then shifted and then shifted and
then taken off the field and driven to another state.
You have to understand, like, I was actually enjoying shoving their words back up their asses. So that's why I kept doing it. You know, I kept going back out there. They're like, "Oh, well, what about this?" And then I go out there and I shove that up their ass, and then they say, "What about this?" And I keep doing it. Eventually, it got down to, well, it has to be fake, and then that's where, okay, at that point, I should have just been like, "Okay, I'm done."
That's just because you're a sadist, only. That's true. Oh, and by the way, guys, do. They
don't get that.
I was waiting for that.
And Geo, shame on you for not doing it on the first hangout.
Like there's these like 3 videos, or not 3 videos, but 3. Let me just show you. It'd be easier just to show you. So there was, I'm sure all you guys remember Cara Diane's model, right?
Yep.
Can I find this hangout? I can't even find the hangout, so I can share my screen. Where the heck is it? There it is. Okay. Too many windows open.
Oh, it's all that porn.
Okay.
So there was Cara Diane's video where she modeled the towers, and then she took my picture and like overlaid it.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, I was like, well, that's it, right? I mean, that's the end of it. I mean, here it is. Here's the prediction, which is the model, and then here's the observation. Observation validates prediction. Game over, right? There's no flat Earth equivalent.
Well,
what's that?
The downside to Cara's model, though, is it proves that at least in flat earthers' eyes, it proves that it was all CGI. All of your videos.
I'm not sure. Those birds proved that it was CGI.
Yeah.
Fucking
then
birds.
Comes along Walter Bislins, and he does this series of like animations here. One of them being the transmission lines, and they're all 3D models of these different observations. And recently he just did this one, which is the curve, and that one's really good because they're always asking like, why doesn't it curve left to right versus from the observer out over the horizon. And the curve one actually shows why that is, and like he uses different fields of view and stuff like that to show, and different heights of the observer.
Oh,
but
cool.
So this particular page models a whole bunch of stuff, like the Beverly level experiment. He models that, and his little animations and stuff. Cool stuff. But the thing about the transmission line one is, I should have just let it play to the end and then stop it, but might have to let replay here. But the cool thing about the transmission line one is, whenever you see these animations, like seeing the animation itself actually gives you a whole different like textile feel for like what is going on. Like you feel like you can actually like
yeah, you get to orientate yourself in the simulation.
Yeah, and then like if you grab these knobs and like actually
you can control them yourself. Oh,
yeah,
nice.
If you grab these knobs and interact with it like this, like so, this right here looks exactly like
your
this video right here. And it's like, hey, here we go. We'll just give them like a tactile feel for it. Like this is a tactile feel for it. And so like each time I keep trying to like basically turn the video game into reality and reality in the video game type thing, so that they can kind of get a sense for it. But it's like no matter what you throw out there, there's always an excuse, and it comes down to blind faith is what it comes down to. That's really where we're at. These guys it doesn't matter what you throw at them. It doesn't matter how convincing it is to a normal person. This will never go away because they just have blind faith in what they believe, and they're going to stick to it.
Yeah. It gets a little. I don't know. Before my Anthony Riley video, I did the video on what's his fucking face called? Quantum Eraser, John, the independent variable John. And he did exactly the same goddamn thing where like the moment people started calling him out on shit in the comment section, he did do what you said earlier, Simon. He just ripped the fucking goalpost out, just ran away with it. He's just like, no. So,
just start driving toward the state line.
That's not what I said. They always say, no, that's not what I said. What I said was, and then they take whatever they just said and like manipulate it into something else that's not exactly the same. Mm-hmm. And then they blame it on your inability to understand them. And like that's how it goes. Like,
don't listen to what I actually write.
By the way, my daughter who was downstairs heard me do the John Cena theme, so she asked if I was talking to you soundly.
She knows.
She knows the rule.
Nice.
Yeah, for those who don't know, in this hangout, whenever Soundly joins a hangout, you must do the John Cena theme, as ordered by my mother.
You got to give them the backstory, or else it doesn't make sense. I mean,
well, when we were all down there doing the eclipse observation, which was absolutely awesome again.
Yeah.
After the eclipse, we were all hanging out in my aunt's living room, and my mom just has been talking to everybody for about maybe 10 minutes, and she just looked over at Sally. He's like, "You look like John Cena."
Yeah, and I can't live it down now.
So now
Sean sees me.
Every time I see Soundly in a hangout, I have to do the John Cena theme.
Oh man. Hey, Sean, how many people were actually there at the eclipse? Do you know the total number?
As far as YouTubers go, it was me, you, Rhetoric, I'm a Rocket Man, You Review, Hannah,
Jesse.
Yeah, Jesse, Scistrike,
the dog,
Jared.
Yep.
And the dog.
Well, I'm not counting the dog. So that's 9 YouTubers. I think I got everybody.
And
then family members from everybody.
I had 3 family members. 1, 2, 3.
I like how he said had.
That's 12.
Rocket Man had his wife and 2 kids.
Yep. That's
I had 2 aunts, an uncle, my mom, my daughter.
it's 20.
Yeah, 20 people.
Okay.
Oh, and then my mom's friends, so 21.
21. So we had 21 people there, and we had one person who shall not be named manning the telescope that had the camera in question on it.
Yep.
And then that telescope went from that camera went from that telescope directly into the living room.
To be fair, whoever was manning that telescope, the camera and the camera owner, was not me or you.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that can be said for sure, because everybody knows that the name that's attached to that camera is not yours, and obviously it's not mine.
Yeah. Anthony still thinks it's mine, though.
That's because he's a retard.
So that camera, chain of custody here, went straight from the telescope
to the living room.
By the camera owner, walked it straight into the living room, sat down on the couch,
and put it on a G drive.
Took the card out, stuck it into the computer, and uploaded it directly to Google Drive, where everyone at that point had access to it.
Yep.
And that's what happened to that image. I mean,
that's why when I grabbed them, they all had the original metadata, including the name, which I gave to Geo, which Geo gave to Anthony, and that's why Anthony tried to dox the camera owner, which he tried to deny.
He wouldn't own it today. He wouldn't even own that he got the image or that he had the image.
Yeah, I saw that part after I was able to actually watch it after the hangout was over. Because if I was with Geo, if it would have been an hour and a half later, I would have been all up in that hangout.
Yeah, I imagine. Because I know that you would have talked about it with Riley.
Well, I was hoping that he would at least say where he got the image from, because
he got it from Geo.
Well, we still don't know that for sure, though.
Well, yes, we do, because I was the only one to release the unedited metadata to anybody, and I only gave them to Geo. And Geo gave some of the pictures to Anthony without removing the metadata from at least one picture.
Yeah, I thought I had removed them from all of it by something must have slipped through my eyes. So yeah.
So the only flat earther that had that imagery was Anthony, that had the intact original metadata.
And that's the thing that's so frustrating about it. It's like you guys keep asking for the original when you had the original before you had any of the rest of them. And you can compare visually the original to any of these other images and see that they're exactly the same.
Yeah.
And whenever I say compare visually, I mean there's a compare tool in Image Magic that you can run a command line, and it literally spits out an image that says, here's the differences. Like, it's that easy. And I showed people how to do it. And it's even listed in that folder that I just gave them today, the instructions on how to do it. Yeah. So there's no excuse whatsoever.
So, yeah, I mean, it's just so astounding that he tried to deny that fact and acting like he never got the original image when, like I said, as soon as I seen that name pop up in a comment from Anthony, I knew what happened. And and just to double check, I made sure with everybody who was at the Eclipse event, if anybody else gave out the imagery, because I knew that I gave it out to Geo. Nobody else gave it out to anybody. I was the only one to release that to the public.
And just to remind everyone, too, of the history here, me and Glowbusters had a conversation after the fact, after that hangout I joined with them, and they called me by name, too, or they called me by that name as well. So they also had the original, which they got from Anthony, obviously.
Yep.
John Michelson, when it got uploaded from the camera to the G drive, it had all of the original metadata, including the camera owner's name in the metadata. I pulled all those Eclipse pictures just to see if I could get earthshine out of them, and which I did, because everybody thought that we didn't get it up to that point until I actually pulled them out and tested it.
Yeah, I was actually disappointed at first.
But I told I exclaimed to Geo, it's like, we got earthshine. So he asked for the pictures, and I sent him to him. I actually sent him copies of the originals with all metadata intact. And I'm guessing at some point, him and Anthony got talking about it, and he probably said, well, I got pictures too. And Geo probably gave them to Anthony, and he forgot to remove metadata from at least one picture for the name. And that's how Anthony got the name of the camera owner. And to this date, Anthony thinks that camera owner is Soundly, and it's not.
Yeah, John. Normally, like your camera settings, if you go into your camera settings, you can add your name in the camera settings, and then that just gets added to the metadata whenever it's created. I don't ever put my name on it. Just
Yeah, I didn't know it did that, but if I ever get a camera that's actually decent, I won't be putting my name in it.
That seems like a weird feature. Like, why would that be in the metadata? What would you ever
for copyright and authorship things?
well, yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
okay, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, yeah, fair enough.
Professional photographers use that to know that's theirs.
No, yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah, if Anthony's sitting there denying that he had the originals at any point, I will gladly call him an outright liar because he was the only flat earther that had access to the unedited metadata ever.
Well, he was the first one we know of.
Well, yeah, but
I think he probably shared it with
Globebusters.
and
well, that's probably how Globebusters ever mentioned his name because he's been trying to get into that circle forever, and then they kind of dropped him like a sack of bricks after his little moon 8 to 10 times larger crap.
Hey, Sean, your boy Timmy Osmond reached out to me and he sent me an image that he took. He said, "Look, here's an image I have. Show me how you got Earthshine. See if you can get Earthshine out of mine." And so I played with it and I got Earthshine out of his.
I think he actually sent that picture to me too. Let me check because he actually sent me some pictures and asked me to it, and then by the time I got around to doing it, I thought he did. Oh, he asked me in a private message if I could, and then by the time I got around to answering it, you already did it for him.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that was his or not, but whatever image it was, it had Earthshine in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sean, can you actually believe that Anthony never saw Earthshine in the night?
No, I'll call him a liar on that too. I'm sorry, but you can tell when Anthony's lying because his lips are moving.
Oh no.
No. He's talking out of his ass. Remember that. His lips aren't moving.
He's incredibly skilled at diverting the conversation and at backtracking and changing what he said to mean something else.
Well, when he's cornered and he can't talk his way out of stuff because he'll say, "Well, let's move on to another subject." That's what he always does. Or that we're not getting anywhere. Let's go on to something else because he's busted and he knows that he's got nothing to come up with.
Yeah, or he claimed that everything you say is fake. Like, do you guys remember the time when he claimed that I had faked the Wikipedia article?
Oh yeah.
You had faked the Wikipedia article.
Yeah, it was my first discussion with Anthony. We were talking about evolution, and at some point we were talking about any particular definition. I don't know what it was. It's on my channel. You can look it up. And at some point, Anthony, we tried to find a source to how actually the definition is, and we ended up in Wikipedia. And I showed him that the way I used that word, I think it was species, I don't know, was exactly the way that Wikipedia defined it. And Anthony said that it would be a little weird that the Wikipedia article was only changed on that day. So he accused me of changing the article to fit with my narrative.
Oh,
and what I did was showing him a very old version of the article. You know that you can take a look at the old versions of articles, like the history. And yeah, he completely didn't expect that would happen.
So he doesn't realize that when you go to an archive site for web pages, it shows you the current date and not the date that it was actually made. I can actually prove that.
Well,
no, it's not even an archive page. It's literally like Wikipedia has the archive function built in.
Yeah.
This is a common theme, though, among flat earthers, is that they take words and they change them to mean whatever they want them to mean. Like, just the other day, Awake Souls was in somebody's hangout saying how I was talking about the Pythagorean theorem again, and he goes, "How can you say there's a proof for a theorem? Theorem means theory, conventional meaning of theory." I'm like, dude, do you know what a theorem is? Do you know what theorem means in mathematics? Please go look that up because you're totally embarrassing yourself right now. And they just don't. I don't know, dude. They just refuse to understand what it means. You show them a proof for you show them a Pythagorean theorem proof, and he wants to argue with you about it that it's a theorem. Okay. It's a theorem.
No.
It's not proven, but it's a theorem.
Math is totally wrong.
Math is not reality.
Yeah. I mean, we've had
Who said
thousands
that?
of years
Was
to
it
figure out.
Jeranism? I think it was Jeranism.
That was journalism, yeah.
No, we've had thousands of years with the Masons to figure out the math. They've only been doing this for a handful of years, right?
Yeah.
But
You
their
show them
research is
mathematical
convincing.
proof. Like the only science that has deductive proofs in it, mathematics, and deductive proofs are theories. It's like, what the? God, you're freaking a moron, dude.
I think that was the Wikipedia article. We were looking at scientific theory. That might have been it.
That would make sense, actually.
Yeah, it would make more sense than the species page, because species is don't even get me started. It's not a very well defined term, actually, and it's the most well defined of all the different categories in clade levels, because it's the only one that technically exists in nature. All the other ones are just arbitrary divisions we've made.
He still didn't come back to the retroviral DNA. He said he would take two more weeks to look it up, but he never sent me a message about it again. I guess he realized that he was wrong.
I've still kind of want to try and debate him on evolution, just for the fun of it.
Yeah, why the heck not? I could ask him.
Well, you did, but then that never actually became anything. Like we did a bit of it in a text conversation when I was like severely hungover and tired as fuck, and he kept saying, "Oh, I want to do it on like actual talking," and I was like, "I can't talk to anyone right now. I just write, please, for fuck's sake." So no, and he kept going on about how I had to show that it was, what was it, like something like I had to prove that if I wanted to prove evolution, I had to prove the kind of evolution that Darwin himself proposed. Even though we don't actually we only keep Darwin in there for historical reasons. We've moved on. It's much more advanced.
Yeah.
And so and he kept going on about kinds.
It's also not true unless you show your face. That's another thing.
Yeah.
Apparently, he doesn't have any problem with me not showing my face.
I am showing my face.
Yeah. I found that kind of odd in your stream, Geo. He says he was wearing the ski mask in protest of all the flat earthers that are going against Mark and Patricia. But so his protest is he's going to wear that whenever he's going up against a Glober who disagrees with what he says.
Something
I fail
like
to
that.
see the train of logic on that.
All right, by that logic, I agree with him.
Oh no!
By that logic, my all tomatoes are in fact reptiles.
I just thought it's funny how he says he thinks doxing's bad, but yet he tried to do it soundly with the metadata from the camera owner. So yeah, he's just a walking contradiction. Cue up Green Day.
You know the.
I think I know my next parody.
The funny thing is, like, if you jump through all their hoops, you jump through, like, let's say you did a live stream of whatever observation you wanted, like a live stream of earthshine on the moon. And somehow you'll CGI fake that. You know, it won't be real.
It's compressed.
Well, technically, if he's worried about JPEG, in my Harvest Moon final chapter, I believe, or it was the follow-up, it might actually be in both. I actually got Earthshine on the nearly new moon on a video recording, which is not easy to do on a camcorder. it's not that great of quality, but it is visible. And this video has been up since, you know, October 6th. So yeah, he's just full of crap all the way around.
Yeah, the whole Earthshine thing is getting, I think at this point has gotten a little out of hand with him.
I'm still waiting for him to say anything about the moon being 8 to 10 times larger than normal.
Oh yeah, I was going to ask you if you ever responded to that.
Oh no, he won't respond to my videos anymore because he knows he's got no. See, back when we were actually talking on Skype, one of the quotes that he said was, "I have to pick my battles with you carefully because I have to pick and choose because you're really hard to debate against." And he's right, because most of the time he's got no argument, but he still wants to keep going with his assertion. So let me actually find that quote, because it's funny as hell. It shows what kind of person he really is and why he's not choosing to respond to my last several videos, because he's got nothing.
Hey, it's Flat Earth Math.
Stupid people famous.
Flat Earth Math, how you doing, man?
I'm doing quite well. I don't know how my microphone sounds. Is it like super hot?
No, that's good.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt your conversation. I was just going to lurk for a bit. But hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I've got a blue Yeti, and it seems like if a gnat is picking his nose in the next room, it picks it up. So
yeah, got to turn down the gain on that one. Yeah,
well, it's so weird because I've seen these different websites where, you know, the one person says, "Oh yeah, if you have this problem where it's picking up every single sound, what you got to do is you got to turn the gain all the way up, and then on your computer setting, you got to turn the sensitivity all the way down." And then I saw another YouTube video giving the exact opposite advice, you know, about turning the gain all the way down, but then turning the sensitivity all the way up. And so I really just lost.
I mean, I technically both would work as far as I know, because they kind of do the same, just in opposite ways.
Yeah. I'm just really jealous of other people where when I see their videos and, you know, there's no microphone visible on screen, and you know their voice comes through, you know, 100% loud and clear with no background noise whatsoever. And I'm really jealous when people get that effect, because, you know, you guys can hear me great, but you probably can also hear, you know, my kids are watching a show upstairs.
Nope.
Kind of stuff. You're sounding good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So, yeah, Earthshine. It's all CGI.
Well, no, Soundly came up with it.
Well, that's right. Yeah, and Soundly is personally responsible for inventing the curvature of the Earth.
No, it was a trap. No, Earthshine was a trap set by flat earthers for this last eclipse. It didn't exist before then.
Interesting.
We should have asked him who actually came up with it, in his opinion. I mean, who actually came up with the trap that he's proposing?
Actually, it was Leonardo da Vinci.
What? And he set up for the last eclipse.
He's the one that gave the reason for Earthshine, and he says it may be possible during the eclipse, and somebody else did the mathematics on it in the late 1800s and says, yes, it is possible during the eclipse. It's very, very hard to get. And that's where Anthony's getting his holy grail of all photographers bullcrap from. It's not an easy thing to get. You have to know. You have to set out intentionally to get it. But if you know how to do it, it's a piece of cake.
Yeah, it's a shame that more people weren't talking about Earthshine before the eclipse, because I think a lot more people would have at least tried to take a photograph. Like I guess you have to really just overexpose the totality.
Yes.
So I that totally wasn't on my mind. I mean, well, actually, when I was in totality, I just was kind of blown away and just sort of staring slack-jawed at the sky. It's a pretty amazing sight. But well, next eclipse, we got 8 years to plan for the next one. I'll be in Buffalo.
I'm so envious. The next eclipse here in Germany will be in 2075.
If you're going to wait 8 years for the next eclipse, you're going to miss it, dude.
Yeah,
next
it's
one's
24.
Yeah, next one's in Texas. Well, Texas was closest to me anyway.
Math is
you're coming up. You're coming up to Toledo, Ohio, Soundly. That's all there is to it.
Oh, am I?
Yes, you're coming back to this one too. Just like I'm hosting another one because it's crossing the path of my parents' house.
Nice.
So I don't care what you say. You're coming to Ohio.
Okay.
Tell your dad to suck it up.
Yeah, Dad was ready to go.
Well,
I
don't
wanted to
bring
sit
him.
around and see the falls.
Well, there's no sightseeing up there, so leave him at home.
Actually, my grandma's from Ohio. I should tell her to go. There you go.
Okay, now that I got dumbass's Skype call all the way brought back up, I can search through where he said that. 'Cause, yeah, I took it as a compliment, and he's lived up to it. You know, he chooses not to address the things that he knows that he can't win on, which is why he hasn't addressed any of my videos since the Eclipse, actually.
Well, he's disabled all comments too at this point. Like
Yeah, because he knows he's wrong.
Yeah, he's entirely withdrawn at just throwing shit from trenches at this point.
Have you seen what he gives as a justification for disabling the comments?
Yeah, that he's just a coward and he knows he's wrong.
Yeah, no. I mean, how he explains it. Why
it's because of the Globe Earth trolls.
Yeah, it's because of them trolls, them evil trolls.
Yeah, they're always trolls if they debunk me. Yeah, well, don't make stupid claims.
Trolls.
Yeah,
always living under bridges and harassing goats.
I never ever get trolls on my channel, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
No, not at all. I still get people coming to my first time lapse video asking the same questions that have been answered over 2 years ago.
Do you remember that live stream I did from Lake Pontchartrain in the water that was like terrible because the compression, 4G compression? There's some guy on my channel trolling me on that one, saying, "Oh yeah, you can't see anything. Oh, it's terrible." Blah blah blah. I'm like, dude, go look at the other 100 videos I've put out.
So there's this comment under my video. Quote: "If you pointed to Anthony's penis and said, 'That's your penis, Anthony,' the fucktard would deny it." And my answer was, only if it wasn't a raw.
Oh, I like this one back from June 4th when I was talking on Skype. Well, I'm cool with the bullshit to and fro usually. Just try to avoid making me out to be a complete nutcase and anything goes really. You are a complete nutcase, Anthony.
Yeah, and that's not you making him out to be that. That's what he is. That's his own fault.
But what do you guys think? A compilation video for his best quotes?
Oh, good lord. Any of them? Pick one?
Yeah, pick one.
I still think the moon 8 to 10 times larger takes the cake, though.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm a giant collection of screenshots from my Skype conversations with him.
Personally, I am on the whole pyramid thing because I just find that like mind-bogglingly like idiotic.
Electrolysis still kind of takes the cake for me.
Oh, that was pretty good, but it wasn't very long lasted.
No.
Do you still have we were discussing the pyramid thing on Skype with one of his friends.
It was Giza something. No, I can't remember. I never got the conversation. I couldn't save it.
Where he said I said something because they're talking about heavy water because he thinks that they were collecting heavy water inside the pyramid or something like that. And I for some reason we got on to the fact that something about heavy water, and I just wrote in the Skype chat that like drinking heavy water would kill you. And then the reply he replied, I think it was Anthony. One of them replied, "Is that an opinion or a fact?"
Did he type that in the chat?
Yes.
Oh, then I might actually still have that somewhere in my Skype.
That sentence just sums it up so perfectly. Is that an opinion or a fact?
He's a pyramid. No.
I can't remember if it was Riley or if it was his friend who said that.
Sounds like Riley to me.
Well, to be fair, it sounds like both of them.
Yeah.
Which friend are you talking about?
I can't remember what it was called. I think
he called himself Giza Pyramid.
Yes, it was
I haven't seen that one.
something along those lines.
No, it's not online. It was a conversation we did privately on Skype.
Oh, I
Yeah,
see.
but in retrospective, this conversation was so awesome that we should have uploaded it.
Yeah. That was the same one, a conversation where they really couldn't understand what like we kept saying, okay, the pyramids are like the tombs, and they couldn't understand why you would go to such length to bury someone in that, like make that kind of tomb.
Mm-hmm.
Because religion's fucking weird.
Yeah, it like they literally thought they were making it for a god. That's also the
Great Giza Pyramid.
That's
That was
yeah.
the Great Giza Pyramid, all one word.
Yeah, and that was also a conversation where they said something about there being fire inside the main chamber, and therefore having been fire or there were scorch marks, and therefore it couldn't have been a tomb. At best, it could have been a crematorium, as if you have to remove the body, like the ash, like you couldn't leave it in there. But if, according to them, if you just left the ash in there, it would still be a crematorium, not a tomb, despite you burying the ash there.
Well, what a crematorium is basically is a device to make a.
It's an oven.
It's an oven to make a corpse smaller. That's all it is.
Yeah.
That's its entire function.
That was such a weird like.
So people can put their mom and dad on the mantle, you know, because that's not.
Yeah, I just remember, don't put it next to the cocoa powder.
I think in this hangout I made an evil crematorium joke.
Oh, probably.
Which I won't repeat here, because this one is public.
It's okay, you're German, so we know what that joke is.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it came up to.
Flat Earth math. I just caught your Voldemort comment.
Remember, I'm German. I'm good at roasting
Who
people.
shall not be named.
Oh my god.
First book.
Wait, okay, I just opened check my Skype again. What the fuck is this picture you sent me?
Give me a second.
The last one.
Ah, yeah. I went through some old family photos and found that one.
Oh, that's a great picture. You should share that picture.
Oh,
I'm afraid.
no.
I'm very afraid.
No, it's a genuinely good picture. It's a subject matter.
Picture, but it's
must have a
part
cat
of
in
family history that I'd rather forget, to be honest.
Yeah, there's a certain symbols.
Yeah, let's just say it what it is. It's a Nazi wedding.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Geo found a Nazi wedding picture in his family album.
Yeah. So a little bit of backstory. So I'm currently right now I'm moving, right? And the apartment that I'm moving into was the apartment of my grandparents. And
they left behind some weird fucking shit.
Basically, they left behind everything. Because my granddad died like 20 years ago, and my grandmother was moving into a retirement home because she has Alzheimer's. So I got the apartment, and it's basically my job to sort everything out and go through everything to see if it's still valuable or something. And today I found this weird old family album containing this picture.
You also found a gun.
Where is the picture shared? I haven't seen it.
Oh, on Skype.
Yeah.
Privately. Sorry.
Yes, sir.
I just checked it and got really confused on. You also found like an air pellet rifle.
Yeah, pellet rifle. Yeah.
Didn't you find a weed stash?
Yes.
Yes.
I suspect it was weed. Yeah.
Oh, to be old and not care about the consequences.
I'm just still disappointed that my guess because he made me guess. He said it was something organic that he'd found in a vase, and my guess was a necklace made out of human finger bones. I'm still disappointed that wasn't actually the answer.
Michael, don't forget the book with the weird children's stories.
Oh.
Okay. Just to be clear, Geo sends me on Skype sends me a lot of weird ass shit.
Those actually those you should share because those aren't personal and those because those are
those are fucking awesome. Yeah, that's true. So,
those are hilarious.
Give us a sample.
There's a book full of stories for children, right? And this thing was written / drawn in 1844. And if you have ever seen any children's books from Germany from 1844, they basically contain one message: obey or die.
Obey.
Yeah.
And they mean it. There is a kid who plays with matches and ends up burning to death.
Yeah.
There's a kid who's told he can't.
Here's the thumb one. I'm gonna.
Yeah, exactly. The thumb one.
I'm gonna get the thumb one here.
The mother tells him not to suck his thumb. She's going out and
share my screen. I got the entire thing.
You got it up? Okay. I was on my way to get them because these are the best things ever. Like
it was made into like an hour-long German movie in the 50s.
Yes, it was.
You have to share, Geo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, Geo, you got a quick question here from Squeaker Alpha. Are you a chemist?
I am studying to become one. I don't regard myself as one yet. So, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah. Here's all the shit I photographed. Which one?
I think I've seen Nibiru in every single photograph.
All right, so the one with the thumbs, right?
Well, the thumb is hilarious.
Yeah, that one. Just because the punishment is so fucking weird. Like in most of the other ones, the punishment at least makes some kind of thematic sense in what they're doing. This just is like this just like a psychopath.
So let me just give a quick sum up. There once was a boy who liked to suck his thumbs. His mother told him to stop, but he wouldn't. So a tailor came in and he cut off his thumbs. Now he has no thumbs. Good night.
Like the mom is coming out and tells him that not to suck his thumbs while he's away.
While she's away, because the tailor would come and cut off his thumbs for some reason.
And then he does it, and the tailor actually comes and cuts off his thumbs for no apparent reason. Like there's just this like psychotic tailor in this city.
Why does this guy have this ridiculously large scissors?
Yeah, and why is he just standing outside his door?
It's like hedge clippers.
Yeah.
all right. It will get worse. So there's always something weirder coming from Germany. So, where is it? Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is the one I was with the.
So, there once was a girl who liked to play with matches. Her cats told her to stop, but she wouldn't.
Yes,
so she burned to death. Good night.
But the shoe survived somehow.
Spontaneous human combustion.
Yeah. I like the one with the kid who beats up, who kills a chair.
Yeah. The language in there is really weird.
Yeah, you just basically translated all of them. Like, there's one where like it says that he kills a chair.
Yeah.
And there's another one where...
let me find the exact phrasing.
And there's another one where it says that the sun shines on his brain.
Yeah. Well, it says he slapped the chairs to death, but whatever.
Also, look at that. The kid has beaten animals to death.
Oh shit! Oh my! I'm fucking dark.
Wow, this really shows the bar. I mean, you cut people's thumbs off, everyone's fine. You slap some chairs, everything's cool. And all of a sudden, dead cat, everyone loses their shit.
Yeah.
No. Then he whips the dog. And
the story continues. So he whips the dog, and the dog bites him in the leg, and then he's lying in bed because he's sick, and the dog gets its breakfast.
Geo, in this context, Hitler is starting to make a lot more sense.
That is my exact response. I literally like after the first two stories, I literally just wrote, now the wars are starting to make a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's a billion of these. Look at this. So this guy doesn't want to eat his soup, so he dies.
Yeah, he literally starves to death in like 5 days.
In 5 days, yeah.
So that's it. He just doesn't eat soup and he dies. End of story.
Yeah. And
that's like the best weight loss program ever, it looks like.
I'm sick of reading Anthony comments. I have 3 months of comments to go through, and I'm not really looking. My eyes are dead from reading his comments again.
So. Give me the video. We can share them up here.
I'll look for the comment another time. No, it's in a Skype conversation.
The Skype comment. I see.
Yeah.
Geo, find the one with the black boy.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness. That was yeah. Oh god.
All right.
It's not racist in the way you would think.
Yeah, it's surprisingly unracist for something from 1844.
In Germany.
Yes. So the story is about this black kid that gets bullied by the 3 white guys.
White kids, yeah.
Yeah, and then this guy shows up and he dips them into his big barrel of ink.
No. Basically, no. It's Saint Nick. It's Santa Claus.
Yeah, basically it's Santa Claus. Yeah.
It's basically Santa Claus shows up with a giant well of ink.
Yeah, and then he dips them into the barrel
as a punishment for teasing him.
Yeah.
And then they become black too.
Yeah, the point is that they're blacker than the black guy.
Yeah.
That's a
and then they don't teach him anymore.
Well, the weirdest, but that's not the weirdest part about the story. Like in on the first page, it's about it gives a quick introduction about these 3 kids. Like everybody has this toy running around, and this guy just has a random pretzel.
Also, it literally says that the sun was shining on the black kid's brain.
Yes, so he
took his head, his brain.
There it is. Die Sonne schien ihm aufs Gehirn, da nahm seinen Sonnenschirm. The sun shined on his brain, so he took his parasol. This is weird as fuck.
This is madness.
You know, some of the old nursery rhymes in the U.S. are pretty weird too. I found an old book in my grandma's house, and it was, I swear the guy was on LSD or something whenever he was writing it. I'll have to look some of those up.
Well, the funnier part is you get these, like, if you are friends with Geo on Skype, you get these kind of out of context and out of nowhere.
Yeah,
like, that's probably the best part.
We'll just post like random stuff that he finds.
Yeah. It's fucking like 8 in the morning and he sends me just weird ass videos.
Yeah, it's 8 in the morning for me, so it was probably like 11 p.m. when I sent it to you.
Well, if I can interrupt and bring us back to a topic again, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
If you want to present me.
Yep. As soon as sorry, Purple Dan should hopefully be joining us as well.
On the right, you will see Anthony Riley's claim for the Harvest Moon. On the left, you will see reality.
Was he really talking about the moon being 8 times large in the sense of diameter, or was it about area?
8 to 10 times larger is what he kept on quoting. And when we asked him if he meant 8 to 10%, he clarified, no, not percent, times. So on the right is Anthony's minimum claim, 8 times larger.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I must have missed that. So wait, did you think that it was an optical thing, or
he thought it was physically getting closer?
So
for 1 hour only on September 6th.
And that we weren't all killed by the tides?
Well, there's no gravity, so there would be no tidal. There'd be no tidal force.
Okay.
There's no Roche limit.
Oh, for fuck's sake, gravity. Do you remember that Hector had with him on my channel?
Now his claim changed over time as he was realizing that he was going to be totally destroyed for debunking. You know, his initial claim was for the first hour after moonrise on September 6th. Then he realized that I was right, that the harvest moon was actually October 5th. So he then agreed to that. And then when I said, okay, well, let's take a picture day before, day of, day after. He's like, oh, no, you got to do it several days before, several days after, because it's not all at one shot. It's not within the first hour like his initial claim was. Then it changed to a few weeks before and a few weeks after. And then it became a few months before and a few months after. And then several people, including myself, debunked his entire claim because I actually had a picture from December 25th of 2015 of a full moon. And I also had my May 15th of 2015 of the sun with a solar filter. And they were all the same size.
But Shawn, you know you have to have a continuous video lasting several decades.
Well, no, it gets worse than that, Micro, because
it can't be compressed. It's got to all be raw.
Yeah.
You can't upload it to the internet to be compressed.
Oh no, it gets far worse, guys. After his October 5th or after our October 5th observation, because he didn't do it, his claim then changed to every full moon is 8 to 10 times larger than every new moon.
What? Did you really say that?
Because the perigee and apogee are so far apart.
You're like 40% apart or something.
No, 8 to 10 times.
I just have one question. I have only one question so far.
Go ahead.
Why is the moon upside down?
Let me slap my knee a little bit.
It's never supposed to be on its side like that.
No, it's because Stan is
in the southern
South
hemisphere.
Africa.
He's in the other hemisphere.
Yeah. So for him, the moon is upside down.
That's why I was slapping my knee and laughing.
He's a funny one.
Sorry, I don't have a rimshot soundboard loaded up.
Yeah, I used the clap.
So yeah, this is exactly why flat earthers never make predictions.
No, this is what killed Anthony Riley in the flat Earth community, was because he made this dumbass claim.
Well, he made a prediction, which
even the other flat earthers thought this was a bit out there.
Oh, not just a bit. I mean, it was the day after this. The Sun and Moon Group dropped him like a sack of bricks.
Yeah, what exactly happened there? I really didn't get that.
Well, it started with the Mark Taylor bet that he welched on.
Yeah.
And this was the icing on the cake.
Oh, goodness gracious.
More like shit on the cake.
He's like the court gesture of flat Earth.
He's not even that. You put him on too high a rung, sir.
Yeah, court gesture.
He is the guy that the jester pays to laugh at.
So someone's asking, Alexander Karims is asking, where did Anthony get this idea from anyway? Anybody know?
It was a yearly meme on Facebook. They did the same thing with Mars.
Right.
They did the same thing with Mars, saying that on such and such date, on such and such year, that Mars would be the same size as the full moon. They did this like every year, running back to back to back, and of course, people still are dumb enough to buy into it.
Yep.
Well, there was a similar one with the moon on supermoons. Is what it started out with. Supermoons were 8 to 10 times larger than regular moons, and eventually it got distilled down to the harvest moon is 8 to 10 times larger. So he got it from a Facebook meme.
Oh, so we got it from someone else's ass.
Yeah. So he's actually physically reaching up other people's ass to find bullshit.
I hope he washed his hands.
Have you seen his big purple cock? Of course he didn't wash his hands.
Yeah.
This kind of brings up a serious question though. Like, what is his motivation? What is he trying to accomplish here? He can't honestly believe the stuff he's saying, right? So there's got to be some motivation behind it.
He probably does believe it.
Yeah, I'm actually since this last video that I made of him, I am genuinely convinced that he's an idiot now. I used to be of the opinion that he wasn't, that he was.
What it is he's an arguer. That's why you can never convince him, no matter what kind of any kind of evidence you show him, it won't be credible. I mean, even if even if Soundly does what he wants and gets the CR2 files or whatever, he still won't accept it. He'll find a reason to not accept it. And the last ditch one is, it's not credible because it came from you. He said that a couple times on certain people about their evidence. It's not credible because it's from you. Didn't matter what the file format was. I think that's what he said when somebody actually supplied him a CR2 of earthshine.
Well, he does the same thing to other people that he did it is to me. He builds up these false accusations and for a number of videos, and it becomes a history thing. And he is convinced that there's this whole history now of fraud from somebody where none of his claims have been true. So it's like in his own mind, it seems like it anyway, that he's convinced that there's a whole history of fraud when there hasn't been any.
But no, he's literally out for popularity, and it's backfired spectacularly in his face with the whole Harvest Moon thing. And now he's just trying to dig whatever kind of fame he can get out of it, even if it's nothing but dislikes. Because if you look, have you seen his like to dislike ratio on all of his videos?
No, but I'm looking now.
Even for Flat Earth channel, that's insane.
Now, mind you, on my videos, I get about a 10% interaction ratio compared to my watches. And it's mostly in the like column. He has like an 80% interaction with the like and dislikes, and they're all in the dislikes. So that should tell you that you're not doing something right, Anthony.
No, in his mind, it's probably just the fact that everybody is a non-page role to do nothing but discredit him.
Well, the thing that he's done is the only people who pay attention to him, honestly, is us.
Yeah. He's just looking for fame wherever he can get it.
Yeah. So he's not getting attention from other flat earthers. Which is why
they gave up on him.
Yeah. So he's the only one he gets attention from is us. So we give him whatever 100, 200 views, and that's.
I do got to correct you on that. He does get attention from one flat earther still, and that's Mr. Thrive and Survive. Because
they did a thing together, didn't they?
Oh, Mr. Thrive and Survive actually commented on the one video he's still allowed comments on. There's two that he allowed comments on.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Thrive and Survive actually talked to him on one of them. So yeah, they got a little bromance going on.
Well, that's adorable.
Love is in the air.
I mean, maybe his big purple dildo got worn out and he wants to take a trip to Arizona. I don't know.
But wait until he starts selling colloidal silver.
Oh, God.
Actually, Thrive and Survive stopped doing that because the FDA got on him.
Yeah, well, not because he's honest and doesn't want to kill people, but because the government had to step in.
See,
didn't something similar happen to one of the Hovins recently?
Oh yeah, the older Hovins.
Yeah, Laetral.
Yeah, right. This was Laetral. Yeah,
that was for the
Laetral, the amygdalin,
the apricot seeds.
Yeah.
That's.
Yep, I'm pretty sure Thrive and Survive got that nice FDA cease and desist.
As I said last time,
the letter
too much apricot seeds will result in a very low IQ score.
I do personally know like 3 people that turned him into the FDA for that colloidal silver.
Good.
Yeah, no, he deserved. Sometimes I feel bad because I have people who are like, oh, go to this one flat earth channel and flag him for whatever, and I feel kind of like, no, just leave him alone. But that kind of shit is just no. You're a fucking scammer at that point. Fuck you.
Well, it's not the point. The point of Thrive and Survive, why I'm so happy he got nailed by the FDA, was the fact that, yeah, he's a scammer. He's begging for money for flat Earth, but he's actually giving the potential to cause permanent discoloration, I should say, because there's not really any bodily harm to drinking silver, except it turns you blue. But yeah, I mean, it is a condition that can actually cause some serious embarrassment, and it never goes away.
Mm-hmm.
So he's wanting to turn people into Smurfs.
Oh no,
that's one way of putting that.
That's the only way of putting it. La 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 la. Drink my silver now.
Oh no!
Take my bottle and drink the silver.
Why'd you have to make that so dirty, Micro?
because the joke wouldn't work if I didn't say it in a dirty way. That was literally the point.
Oh, Paranor in chat, Smurf you.
Oh,
Sean, please, there might be children watching.
So what? Fuck it.
Sakes.
Yeah, this is not a family-friendly video ever or a channel. I've already got
somebody commented that this hangout will probably demonetize because of the children's book pictures I just showed.
Oh yeah, probably. I have I have a hangout or a stream schedule for Tuesday night. It's already demonetized.
Oh, you know what's really?
I know it hasn't happened yet, but I'm already not advertising.
Do you know what's really, really neat about the whole automatic demonetization stuff?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think all of it's automated, because the only videos I get that are automatic, that are not advertiser friendly, are any videos that actually mention Anthony Riley. Yes, every single one of them I have to fight to get remonetized. None of my other videos got nailed. Just
that could actually be automated, because there.
No, I don't want to hear that, because I've got Red's Rhetoric hangouts on my channel.
No. But Sean, remember Anthony Riley is also the name of a musician.
Oh, okay, that might be true.
Oh yeah.
But even the ones that don't have him in the title, as long as they are talking about him.
The caption system is really good.
I don't even mention him by name in those videos, but everybody knows who I'm talking about. They're automatically demonetized.
Okay, that is kind of strange.
I'm thinking Anthony's still watching all my videos and then flagging them, and then they just get automatically demonetized for some reason.
I don't know. The two videos that I set up two events. I set up my Tuesday night stream, and then I set up this one, the Anthony Riley dumpster fire. And my Saturday night or my Tuesday night stream, the Halloween one, is already demonetized. So that's the one that's not advertiser friendly. But this one never got that. The Anthony Riley one didn't.
Fuck.
I know.
Yeah. I had a public playlist that had unlisted videos in it, and I just had it out there because it was me filming down a railroad track basically, and getting like refraction and stuff like that going on. And for some reason, the unlisted videos got demonetized, and I didn't even realize they were monetized. Like it just automatically monetized them whenever I uploaded them, and I forgot about it or whatever. And they got demonetized, and I'm like, what the hell? That doesn't even make sense. Unlisted video.
And here's the funniest thing: I don't monetize my channel to make money. I mean, throughout my lifetime account earnings for my YouTube video or my YouTube account is still under $50. So I have never received a check from YouTube. I probably won't for another year.
Wait, you get checks?
Well, I haven't yet, but
no.
Wait, you get
that's
paid?
not what I mean. I've gotten one payout from them, but that was just went directly through the credit card system.
Well,
no, I don't think you actually get a check. You just
don't live in a civilized country, Michael.
Yeah. Metaphorical check.
But the point is, I don't monetize in order to make money, because I obviously ain't. I monetize because they give you more analytical tools.
Yeah,
and that's it.
Yeah.
So when I get videos flagged for not suitable for most advertisers, which is funny as hell, it just makes me giggle, because in most cases they are suitable for all advertisers, because they're not using foul language, they're not being stupid.
I literally had a video.
Just the Anthony videos.
I literally had a video of a train track. No comments. No words being used. Period. No annotations. Demonetized.
Well, so far I've fought all of them, and I still have 2 that haven't had enough views to be reviewed.
Yeah.
And that's my one where I actually have Anthony demonstrating on his little globe how close the moon has to get. And then, I just had one flagged for not advertiser friendly for Perth, which that does have a lot of following agents, so I can actually agree with that. But it took it since the 23rd, and it just got flagged today.
I don't think they really care about foul language, because I mean, you don't see my streams and my fucking videos. And most of them aren't. The only ones that are, or most of them are advertiser friendly. The only ones that aren't are like the ones that talk about current events, which there's like a handful of videos that I've done that are about like I did one on DACA and immigration and shit, and like those are the ones that get demonetized. None of my flat Earth videos get demonetized.
But yeah, from the moment that I actually removed Anthony or I made the first Eclipse video, every video that's dealt with Anthony either by name or not immediately got flagged as not suitable for advertisers. It wasn't until that point. And every single one of them did, and I fought all of them. The only one that's still being left to be fought is one. And that one is my most polite video, actually.
So when you went through that process, what did they tell you? Like why did it get flagged? They didn't tell you that?
It tells you nothing.
Yeah. They just get it just says we have manually reviewed it, and you're not advertiser friendly.
I just checked, and I had one that had from 2016 that had somehow gotten it since I last checked. But to be fair, that has sexing in the title, so probably why.
Granted, I do call my streams like longer and harder, which is probably not the best idea in the world.
But I likes it better that way.
My last video was like almost immediately. It said, "No, this is not an advertiser friendly." Probably because the title of it is "Baby's First Strangulation Hazard." I can see that not being advertiser friendly.
That was a great title, though.
You have no idea how much fun I had coming up with that title.
Yeah, the best scene from that video was when you put that doll into the oven.
I got to get a clarification from Pheno 3000. My yellow brick road is visually impaired. I don't get the joke. I guess I'm too old. I don't know.
Oh. By the way, Shawn, everyone has been complimenting your sexy, deep voice.
Everybody loves my radio voice. I don't know why.
You do have a good voice.
Yeah.
So, what do you think? I'm in love with all of you. Oh, my girlfriend's in love with all of me, so
there you go.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, you got the voice. Like
you got the voice.
I'm a man with the golden voice.
Oh, chicka wow.
Wow, chicka wow wow.
Can you just say in a world?
In a world where Anthony Riley rules supreme.
Oh God.
Everyone commits suicide.
The end.
Batman?
I'm Batman. But I really like the penguins.
Oh my
God. They do patrol Antarctica, so
I'm gonna go down and take a visit to Geist View.
Dude, it sucks. It sucks that they don't have bandwidth down there, man.
I know. He shows up to chats every once in a while.
But we can only see the actual chat. You can't see the video.
I miss Geist View. Geist View, when you get to see this, I miss you, man.
He'll be back, and he's gonna have all kinds of 24-hour 360 camera sunset or sun footage.
I know. I'm looking forward to that.
CGI.
No, he's actually at the North Pole. He just doesn't know it.
Yeah. That's not the Southern Cross.
No, they paint on different stars.
One of these days I'm actually going to do a hangout as Morgan Freeman.
You should.
Just so I can get the reaction from the flat earthers. And then all to see Andy Dufresne. Andy Dufresne. Gotta love him.
Oh. Now I need to get you to do the trailer for my channel.
Oh,
Shawn.
good lord!
Someone's got to do it. It ain't gonna be me. I got complaints about making my voice all exaggerated in my last video.
Well, you do. Yeah, you do have a bit of a like.
Well, I would offer up some
clear,
like
slightly exaggerated like video voice.
Yeah, when I make when I get excited, my voice like just goes all over the goddamn place.
Yeah, mine just becomes higher and higher. I just end up going like really high pitched when I get excited.
It was
my voice is always high pitched.
He fucked up.
That feels like CSI crime scene investigations or something. Hey, this
Doctor,
is
how did he die? He was too stupid.
Yes.
So who's all going to grab that sound bite?
Speaking about monetization stuff, how does Anthony Riley get away with having the Knight Rider theme?
He probably doesn't. So I did the parody of his intro.
Yeah.
And I used the SpongeBob song. And like before, like the moment it was uploaded, I didn't like, it's not a strike, but I got a copyright, like this is copyright material, but the owner of the copyright is going to let you keep doing it.
But they're going to get the revenue.
But they're going to get the money, not you.
I got you.
Yeah.
See, most of my parodies are actually shared revenue because it's considered a cover.
Mm-hmm.
Except for my last one, which some dumbass that doesn't actually own the rights to the actual song that I used, they have the rights to a song that's similarly titled, but it's actually a different song, have restricted it from view from the United States. So that one's actually still in dispute. They've got 3 days to, or 4 days to either dispute my dispute or let it go.
That's weird.
Yeah.
If so that's probably dispute their dispute of your dispute.
No, because if they want to dispute my dispute, they actually have to get a lawyer involved.
Yeah.
Because they had it, they had content ID, which is what caught the copyright, because it had a similar title, I guess. And I mean, as soon as the video got done processing, it says that it was restricted in the United States. It can't be seen.
Yeah.
Wait, but I thought video ID was based on the actual video and audio.
It's supposed to be, but it's not.
You can do it like if you have enough subs, which I think almost everyone here does.
No.
You can content ID your stuff.
Yeah, you can content ID your stuff at 500 subs.
Yeah, there you go.
Shit.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't do that because it would probably mean that all the people I debunk, there's a chance they would get caught in that.
No,
in my video.
I've actually looked at the process of doing the content ID database, and it's a pain in the ass. It's just not worth it unless you're doing like YouTube professionally.
Gotcha.
Yeah. There's a couple of I think the 2 hangouts that I have with Chocolate Hat are actually out on the internets by somebody else uploaded them. They only have like 2 or 3 views, so neither Chocolate Hat nor I gave enough of a fuck to deal with it. But it does, depending on how you title things, your shit can get stolen. That got stolen just because it said cartoon in the title. And so the person was uploading like a bunch of cartoons, and so they had like cartoon stuff, and then my video was up there. Like,
suddenly a random hangout with 2 idiots.
Yeah. I was like, all right, cool.
Well, let me put it this way. The parody I did is of a song by Supertramp called Take the Long Way Home. The people that restricted from the United States has a song called Let's Take the Long Way Home. And it's a different song, but it has pretty much the same title. So Content ID flagged it.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can't, if you really want to, you can content ID your own stuff, but and I can't imagine, somebody who's big enough might want to do that because you do see a lot of re-uploads by people.
Yeah, but the problem with our types of videos doing that, since we use other people's stuff, there's a real risk that they would that their original video that we're debunking would then get in trouble for using their own stuff.
Well, actually, generally no, because Content ID is based on who put it up first, and it'll actually check that in Content ID on whether or not your.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool.
It'll check. Because it takes like it's from the time you set up the database. It starts off by any videos that come out after that, but it also goes through a back catalog and basically immunifies videos that have your content from before the time your video was released. So in case they re-upload another video, it'll compare it to their original video and say, okay, they just re-uploaded it. It's not going to flag it.
Yeah. Yeah. So it might be worth it. I don't know. It might not be worth the trouble.
It's not worth the hassle unless you start doing a lot of professional quality stuff.
I'm pretty sure
Like
YouTube music videos, that sort of thing. If you do your own music videos, if you have a band, that sort of thing. I'm pretty sure if you do that sort of content, it would make sense to have the content ID system.
Well, even BuzzFeed does content ID, which is why, like, if you ever live stream trying to talk about BuzzFeed or you do a video on BuzzFeed, you'll get a warning or whatever, like right off the bat.
That's because BuzzFeed doesn't want to be debunked.
Yeah. So you can't. So BuzzFeed is one of those that you can't really easily make a response video to because they have content ID on all their crap.
I thought that was allowed with fair use, though.
It is, but the fair use system doesn't take that into account.
Yeah, they're still assholes. So I think it's like 20 seconds or so. Like if you play more than 20 seconds of their stuff, the bot or whatever that keeps an eye on that shit gets triggered. Yeah.
So if they have a 3-hour video and you play 21 seconds of it, it gets triggered?
Pretty much.
Yep, pretty much.
Crazy.
And you have to go through all this shit to manually fucking flag it and get it off that shit. It's fucking horrible.
Yeah. I know BuzzFeed's the one that I know does it for sure. There's probably other people who do it too. Probably for the same reason of they don't want the criticism that comes with, spewing
Well, in the case of BuzzFeed, it's probably also because that's part of what they make money from, and it wouldn't be unlikely that someone would steal their video.
I still go with that. They probably don't like criticism.
My guess is it's probably a mixture.
It might be, yeah.
Anyways, I'm gonna go to bed.
You know what? Stick around for just a second because I'll sign us out because we're kind of at the.
Okay, I will wait for.
Anyway, but yes, I will sign us out now. Thank you everyone for joining. This is actually a really great group to show up. Thank you, everybody. Just a quick note: there will be a special Halloween episode of Longer and Harder on Tuesday afternoon, night, whenever that is for you all. Woo. It'll be spooky. There's actually a giveaway at the end.
No, it will be spooky.
What kind of giveaway?
I will be giving away chapters 2 and 3 of Bendy and the Ink Machine on Steam.
What if we don't have chapter 1?
Chapter 1 is free.
It was a joke.
You jerk. So, yes. So if you show up for that, that would be the nice place to go. And otherwise, thank you everyone for being here. I will let you all sign out yourselves and say goodbye. Tell the peeps who you are, peeps who are in the chat or watching this later. Go subscribe to all of these guys because they're all awesome. They all make really good content. And Micro and Dan in particular, we do another show together, so you should go check that out. It's Taking a Look At. But everyone else, you should just subscribe to all the peoples who are about to tell you their names and pimp themselves out. So
I make the best.
I'm going to tell you who to go because otherwise this is going to be a clusterfuck. So, Geo, you start off. Pimp yourself out.
Yeah. So first of all, hi, my name is Alex. I run a channel called GeoStrebber, GeoStrebber. And I basically torture myself by talking to stupid people, which is kind of hilarious. So check that out. Thanks.
There you go. Flat Earth Math, are you still here?
Yes. Thank you very much for hosting. I paid Rhetoric&Discourse to say all those nice things about me. This is Charles. My channel is Flat Earth Math. And mostly the purpose of my channel is to give people DIY experiments to discover the shape of the Earth for themselves. Thank you.
All right. I'm fucking Hill. Hill. Do your thing.
Hi, I'm Hillel. No one can pronounce my name. Don't subscribe to me. I don't do anything. Instead, subscribe to Scistrike. I usually go there on Friday for his Science Strike Force movie nights. So subscribe to Scistrike, and not me.
All right.
I like Scistrike.
Yeah. Do subscribe to Scistrike. Scistrike is pretty awesome, and I am on rare occasions there, very drunkenly there because it's way too late in the evening for me. All right, Micro.
Hello, I'm MicroBlogganism, and I'm pretty sure everyone in the chat is already gonna know who I am. So,
well, look at me. I'm so big, and I have so many subscribers.
No, it's because it's the overlap between the two of channels, and plus I'm in the fucking chat, your chat all the time.
That's true. Dan.
Oh yeah. My name is Purple Dan. Why are you laughing at, Micro? This is because I sound confused.
Yes.
It's 1 o'clock in the morning. Of course I'm confused. Jeez. I recently started making videos again after nearly more than a year-long hiatus. I do mostly geology-related stuff, debunking creationists, bad geology like hollow earth theory, fucking flat theory, and flat earth theory and all that shit. I also do some woo stuff regarding crystals because, you know, crystals and geology go very well together. So yeah, go subscribe if you would like that sort of shit.
All right, Shawn.
Oh, me? I'm one of the two guys here that doesn't have a cartoon for an avatar. I do a lot of low budget experiments that everybody can do to prove the Earth isn't, retarded.
Also, you can't count apparently because there's 4 people in here whose avatar isn't a cartoon.
No. Rhetoric&Discourse has a cartoon avatar, even though it's a real cat.
It's a real cat.
I'll point out that
everything else with that avatar is a cartoon, though.
I'll point out my avatar is a cartoon.
Mine is not a cartoon. This is a literal photo of me. That's how I look.
Mine is just me in my Halloween costume.
Yeah, sure. I might have a cartoon avatar, but I actually
Hillel doesn't count because it's Hillel.
Yeah.
I do parodies. I make fun of flat earthers in them. A lot of popular songs, at least used to be popular. But I'm old, so deal with it.
All right, and Soundly.
I'm Soundly. I just record the world. That's pretty much all I do, and occasionally thrash Riley.
I forgot to add one thing
as well.
I forgot to add one thing. I make the best videos. Soundly sucks. So kidding.
Well, thank you everyone for joining me. There will I'm probably gonna ask all of these assholes to join me again because I am like really, really close to 1,000 subscribers somehow. I'm like 11 people away. So nice. I will probably ask all these people to come back for 1,000 subscriber special. Right, guys?
Sweet. Yep.
Yes. All right. We got there.
Yep.
I know what I'm going to do for my 1,000 subscriber special.
You do?
Yes, I do.
All right. Well, that's better than me because I have no fucking...
Mine is long overdue, so...
I will take the time to re-download every single image of Himawari from Himawari 8 from its activation date to current time.
What?
And make one huge-ass time lapse.
I hope you have that 1,000 gig download or whatever it is.
Yeah.
AT&T.
I've got several external drives waiting for the day.
Holy shit, Shawn, your computer will implode. It will commit suicide this time.
It will turn into a black hole.
I am up to 5 external drives. The smallest one is 1 terabyte. And I've got a USB stick that has 7 USB 3 slots on it.
Holy shit. This thing must be so monolithic that the scientists from 2001 are still trying to figure out what it is and why it's here.
All that's fake. You know that, right?
Yeah. So mathematically, I've got the space to download all the images for like a 4-year period.
Awesome. All right, everybody.
All of them match in reality, mind you.
There you go.
All of them timed and date stamped. All of them showing accurate weather everywhere in the world for that time and date.
NASA can afford some really good artists.
Yeah, especially since NASA's not involved at all with the MORE.
And some really nice machines that never break down.
Ever.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. You all have yourselves a good night, and we will see you all next time.